Happy holidays, everybody. I just wanted to come real quick because, y'all, as I was reading my word, I realized just how truly important our perception is. What we put our focus on is so important. I was reading Matthew chapter 6 and I got to verse 22. And in verse 22, it talks about how the light of the body is the eye, right? The light of the body is the eye. I was reading this and I said, well, what does that mean? You know, the light of the body is the eye. What exactly is it telling me here? I began to just look into it a little bit. You know, I started to kind of look up these words. The word light is actually the word lupnos in the Greek. It means a lamp, like a candlestick or a candle that is placed on a stand. When you think about that lamp, that candlestick, you realize that that is what illuminates the room that you're in, right? That lamp or that candlestick is what brings light, what brings awareness to everything around. And in this sense, when we think about a light, the light is really what illuminates the way that we should go. Without a light, say for instance, there's no light in a room, you're gonna get lost. You're not gonna know where you are without a light. You would never know which direction you should move in. But it's really the same thing with the eye, because what we allow our eyes to see, or what we allow in our eyesight, is going to dictate the way that we move. The eye really represents perception. What dictates the way that you move is what you perceive. How would I be able to move in light if all that I ever perceive is darkness? If I surround myself in light and I fix my gaze on light, light is going to be what I operate in. But if I continue to surround myself in darkness, I continue to perceive the darkness and everything, there's never going to be a moment when I would be able to operate in light because I don't perceive light. This was just crazy to me when I was reading this and studying it, and just how God was sharing this with me, that perception is everything. Verse 23, it tells us that if thine eye be evil, the whole body should be full of darkness. Let me read that again. If thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If your eye, if what you perceive is evil, all that's going to consume you is evil. If I go out into the world right now and I see Satan in everything, I see lust in everything, I see darkness in everything, everything is gloomy, everything is bad, everything is sad, that is what I'm going to start to put out. That's what I'm going to start to portray, because that's all that I know, that's all that I see. But if I go out and I see God in everything, I see the light in everything, I see the blessings in everyday life, if I see God in all the details, I am going to be able to operate in that light. I'm going to be able to go to the next person and tell them that even though it may not look good, we have to see the God in the situation. And that is what Jesus was saying, is that the light of the body is the eye. What you operate in is coming from the eye, from what you perceive, how you perceive things. And I feel like that is so important now, because I have found myself specifically dwelling on things that are negative. And then that begins to give me a negative outlook about everything. That's when we start saying stuff like, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. Man, if it rains, it pours. And then I started to ponder on Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. When it talks about fixing your eyes on Jesus, that phrase, fix your eyes, when I actually looked at that, it meant to turn your eyes from one thing and to focus on something else. Fix our eyes on Jesus. Our entire perception should be Jesus. And so whatever it is that we are focusing on should never be more important than us focusing on Jesus. Even in Matthew 6 again, verse 24, it brings back the idea of perception. It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. What we perceive as important is what we will allow to have lordship over our lives. You can't serve both. You either going to focus on the good and you're going to trust me and you're going to follow me and you're going to see Jesus, or you're going to focus on the money, you're going to focus on what you don't have, you're going to focus on these other things of the world. We have to be careful about our perception. We have to be careful about the way that we move and the way that we see things. Jesus goes on to say in verse 25 and even further down, take no thought of your life, what you shall eat, what you shall drink, for your body, what you should put on. It's basically telling us that if you focus on God, if you keep your eye, you focus on Jesus, he's going to provide the rest. He's going to do the rest and he's going to handle it. And we wouldn't have to worry about anything else. And so just make sure that we keep our perception in check. That's what I came here to say today. I know I needed that, and I know it's probably someone else who needs that as well. We have to keep our perception in check. Man, I love y'all. Happy holidays. And I will be back to talk to y'all soon.